Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. Coffee Inn is on the air here on Friday morning. It is March the 21st. I'm Joe Callahan. You just heard Dave Richards over there. Good morning, Dave.
Well, what do you know? Hi, Joe. What's up with you?
I'm about 5'11".
All right.
And we expect Melissa Murray to be here.
Sounds adequate.
Thank you. We expect Melissa Murray to be here soon. And unfortunately, Rich Elaine from Post 85 cannot make it in today.
I heard that.
And so we got a message from him yesterday saying we'll try it again next week. And okay, that's the way it goes. All right, but Rich will not be here. So one of the bigger stories came out yesterday, Dave, and it doesn't really
have anything to do with the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce?
No, it doesn't. But we should hear from them first, shouldn't we? Yes, we should.
Well,
they are the first segment sponsor of Coffee Inn, NRI COC.
Right. All right. Well, cheers for 5 years is the chant there. Next week, on Tuesday, the 25th of March, from 5 to 7 at the Guild in Pawtucket, they have the big party for the women's group there at the Chamber. And let's see, that's pretty much the deal. If you want to go and have cheers for 5 years that they have their women in business group, then drop on by. You'll likely see people that you know or want to know. On April the 2nd, which is coming up, pretty soon, right? Oh, hi there, Melissa. Just snuck up behind me over here. How are ya?
I'm doing well. Good
morning. She's in green again. Are you going to the meat raffle?
I was just feeling springish.
The meat raffle's tomorrow, though.
Oh, okay. Well,
I could wear the same clothes if I wanted.
That's right.
She could be early.
Really early over there.
Because you know the meat raffle there for New Beginnings.
Yes.
It's tomorrow.
Right.
Well, yeah. At 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I'll check
during
on that.
Bruce, so be sure to listen to Bruce on the way over.
And April 2nd is a week from Wednesday.
She's got her dazzly green glasses on.
I don't wear these often. I don't love them, but they matched.
I like them better than the pink hearts.
Oh, I love the pink hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are a favorite of other people's, but not mine.
But on your dress, you have the green and you have the pink
green
flowers.
Yeah.
All right,
rings.
Back to the chamber, Dave.
As I was
We'll
saying,
do fashion a little later.
All right. On April 2nd, you got a free event there for the membership Unlocked. It's a virtual thing. All you got to do is register. It's during the noon hour. They'll never miss you at the office from 12 to 1 on April the 2nd. That's a Wednesday. Followed by April the 8th. Which is not too far away either. At the State House in Providence, it's the legislative reception, otherwise known as Corral a Legislative Person.
Like Melissa.
I thought it was a critter. I thought we were critters.
Yeah, well, nah. Not when you're sitting right there. You could kick me. No, well, I call them Congress critters. It kind of works out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, right. April 8th from 4 to 6:30 p.m. Is it on your schedule? Will you be one of those that can be received?
Depends on what day of the week it is.
Oh, April 8th? Mm-hmm. What's that? Joe, you got the calendar.
April 8th. Hang on.
The first is, so that's going to be on a Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
The following Tuesday.
I will try my best, but that's we have
2 weeks from this coming
committee.
Tuesday.
We'll have a packed committee that day. Yeah.
You might be busy.
I probably will be busy.
Well, then they can drop by your committee room and make faces at you and see you.
They can.
And see you do your work.
It'll be a welcome break from.
Anyway, it's the State House. It's on Tuesday the 8th from 4 to 6:30 p.m. Drop on by. There is complimentary valet parking.
That's
Now,
important.
that's a good thing, and that'll get the crowd out. That's for sure. And these things are really nice because I like to tease an awful lot, and I think everybody understands that. But it's a job, quite frankly, that I don't see myself doing because I don't need the stress that goes with it. I don't need the people, there's enough going on in my life. I don't need that. But we have, thankfully, intrepid souls of hardened heart and bravery that say, okay, I want to take a chance. I'm going to work so hard and try to do at least one good thing for somebody I don't know. And then they put themselves up for public inspection, offer themselves for public ridicule, and go out and do the best they can. I couldn't do it. My hat's off to those who do, including the lady sitting to my left.
Thanks.
But that's my honest thing. And when I was in
It's
Washington,
not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
when I was in Washington 2 weeks ago and got a chance to see the Michigas, the total craziness that is Washington, D.C., during the State of the Union thing and all the rest of that stuff, and we visited all of our Congress critters, both the representatives and both the senators, in their offices down there. I'll just tell you, by the time I got to Mr. Ammo, I said to myself, this ain't for me. I wouldn't do it on a dare. I wouldn't do it if they gave me the office.
You don't want to be a lobbyist?
No, I'm looking at all the people that have come in before us and going in after us, and I'm looking at how we're giving very selfishly our agenda and how they honestly, really, truly appreciate hearing your side of it, so long as you're civil about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, they don't have a heart for rancor and stuff like that. And they're not going to engage you in an awful, disagreeable confrontation. But if you just tell them how you see the world so they can consider it, this is important. That's why this legislative, whole thing down at the State House is very important. But very civilly say, I wish you'd consider my point of view, and this is what it is. And then they appreciate you, and you've done some good for civilization. All right, well, anyway, that's it. The Rhode Island FC kickoff luncheon's coming up on April 29th, statewide business after hours on April 30th, rather. We'll tell you more about those. And another message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, who sponsors your Friday conversation, first thing on Fridays on Coffee Ann.
All right, thanks there, Dave. Okay, the big news yesterday, the business news, is that the Celtics were sold. Boston Celtics were sold.
I did hear
we heard that was in the works.
Yep, and they were looking for people to come in, and the NBA's got to say okay and like that. But it looks like it's going to go to a Massachusetts native who's a huge Celtics fan in his own right, William Chisholm.
Are they still a limited partnership that just sold? Because the Boston Celtics used to be a limited partnership.
I think so. But he bought it for $6.1 billion. That's with a B. Dollars.
$1 billion.
The previous
which
owners,
is a big pile of money.
Now,
It's a lot.
the previous owners bought the Celtics, and I read it yesterday. It was either $340 or $360 million. So they made a great profit selling the Celtics. The big story
Well,
yesterday.
they put a lot into it too, didn't they?
Well, sure.
Salaries are up, all the rest of it. They have to pay for all of that.
And so, but now one of the old owners, he's not happy because he wanted to buy the Celtics.
Yeah.
He put together his group of people, and he thought he gave the best presentation. I'm not sure how you put that.
Right.
Then it should have gone to me.
It was a guaranteed, secured offer.
Yeah.
And he felt that it was fair.
Fully guaranteed and financed offer he submitted with the partners, but they said no. They went. I don't know if it was because of the higher price or what. I don't know what Steve Pagliuca was offering.
Pagliuca, is that how you say his name?
I think that's how you say it. We need Steve Peluso. He's good at what's his Italian name, Steve? And so there you go. So the NBA's got to okay it.
He'll be in soon, by the way.
And now William Chisholm, he's got his partners.
Yeah.
And Melissa, I know one of his partners.
Oh, you do?
I used to work for the man.
Really?
His name is, and I heard Lou say it in the sports. His name is Rob Hale, and Rob is.
Yeah. I've heard you talk about him. I think.
Yeah. Rob is a big go-getter. And he's first of all, he's a gazillionaire too, by the way. And
gazillionaire.
Yes.
Everybody used to call me a workaholic. I says, I know I'm not a workaholic because I'm not a millionaire.
He went into the telecommunications business and ran a company called Network Plus, which unfortunately went under.
I remember that.
And he didn't, go shrink away like a violet. He said, "Okay, I'm going to start another one."
Yep.
I'm like, "Wow, from start?" Yep. And he has. Mm-hmm. And it's now a company called Granite Telecommunications, and doing extraordinarily well. So,
good.
So that's Rob.
A
real workaholic is right.
a Jewish businessman who confided many of the business wisdom of those folks in his clan told me very, very young. He says, "Yeah, you really don't know business to your third bankruptcy, Dave." And I said, "Well, that sounds really stupid." And he said, Irving said, "Dave," he says, "Okay, fine.
You'll find out."
Nobody wants bankruptcy. Nobody seeks bankruptcy unless you've made some mistakes or life has taken advantage of you and you've been victimized." He says, "It's the most wonderful country in the world to be in because we have the bankruptcy system the way it is. The bankruptcy system is for those who have tried and failed. And there isn't anybody in any field of endeavor that hasn't tried and failed. So this is to allow you to try again. That's what bankruptcy is." And he says, "There's being in business is so difficult. If it was easy, everybody do it. You know, the old phrase." He says, "But being in business is so difficult that you really need a way to survive your mistakes or to survive outrageous fortune.
Yeah.
And so you really don't know business until you've had 3 mistakes."
Well, there you go. All right. I remember the time that Network Plus went under because they were trying to merge with another company.
We were a customer of Network Plus.
Okay. And they were trying to merge with another company. I think they were called Broadview Networks. And so
They survived.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you why in a minute. And there I am sitting in the office, and it was like a Thursday. And around 4:30, we all got on the phone, and there was Rob. He says, "Okay, tomorrow, big news. Just get ready. And we'll have another phone conversation Friday morning." So we all came in Friday morning, and he said, something's gonna happen, and you'll see. We'll be back on this afternoon. And we heard nothing for the whole day. But we basically did nothing the whole day. Friday came, he said, "It's gonna happen over the weekend." I said, "What is going on?" Okay, the weekend comes. Monday
Anything
comes.
big has drama.
And Monday came, and we got on the phone call again with Rob, and here's Rob, and there was silence. And then all he could say, all he could get out was, "I'm sorry."
Nice knowing you.
No, he said, "I'm sorry." And hung up the phone. And next thing you know, FedEx is coming in. It was our final paychecks. We'd all been laid off. And then Broadview Networks came in and swooped in and bought the company and didn't want to merge.
Right.
And then Broadview wanted me to keep their
A lot of drama in
service.
business deals sometimes.
And Broadview wanted me to keep their phone service. I said, "Are you kidding?
Yeah, right.
You just laid me off for
Right,
no
right,
reason. You
right.
think I'm giving you money? You got to be out of your mind." All right. So
You think they think about you personally?
no. So that's all right. That's what's going on there. So
But this has happened before
yeah.
where these things have happened.
it just doesn't work out. Yeah.
I mean, he's not around anymore, so I could. None of the principals are around anymore, so I suppose that I could even say, even in the first sale of this radio station, the radio company that I eventually bought, from its second owner, which was the Call, the Evening Call Publishing Company, there was drama, and there was somebody working here that put together a very nice offer, put it together, and it wasn't accepted.
Okay. All right.
And
Happens, right?
You know, it happens. It's very
business.
difficult. Very difficult.
All right, we've got to take a break on the Coffee and program. So, Dave, final message, please, from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
334-9000. Sorry. 334-1000 is the telephone number for the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. 334-1000. Call after 9 o'clock.
All right, thanks, Dave. And comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
In a world where good food, friendly faces, and unforgettable memories collide, there's one place that stands out from the rest. Gators Pub is proudly celebrating 35 years of excellence in North Smithfield. Join us at Gators Pub, where every visit feels like coming home. Our secret to success? It's simple. Our super friendly staff and mouth-watering dishes prepared fresh daily by our talented chefs. Sink your teeth into our delectable lunch specials from Monday through Thursday and savor complimentary soup to warm your soul. Enjoy the game day excitement with multiple TVs showing the Boston Red Sox while indulging in classic appetizers like our famous potato skins and pita chips. Looking for a lively atmosphere to watch volleyball games? Look no further. Pair it with our juicy burgers or the latest cocktail creations to elevate your experience. Gators Pub, your ultimate destination for good times and great food. Come and celebrate with us at Gators Pub on Route 102, just a mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Make every moment memorable at Gators Pub, where good friends and great flavors meet. Remember, there are no strangers at Gators Pub, just good friends you haven't met yet.
Hey, it's Lamar from the Bob and Sherry Show. Everyone knows that I love food, but I also realize that I need to be healthy. And I have found that PhD Weight Loss is able to help me with both. I'm getting healthy and without needle sticks, medications, or gimmicks. And I'm not walking around hungry. In a little over 2 months, I've lost over 40 pounds. I feel great. The PhD Weight Loss Program is working for me, and it can work for you too. Right now, PhD is offering the first 11 callers 2 free weeks added to their weight loss program. Plus, when you fully commit, you'll get a 15% discount, receive a free weight loss and energy supplement bundle, and your program will be backed by the PhD Weight Loss Get Results or Get Your Money Back guarantee. So don't wait. Call now and mention Lamar for my 2 weeks free with my program. Call 864-644-1900. That's 864-644-1900 or go to myphdweightloss.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
All right, it's Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray, and the fun just keeps continuing, and it's going to keep continuing in Johnston. And the whole land with the mayor, and now the other family that owns the land that the Johnston people took by eminent domain, and now there's lawsuit here and lawsuit there and lawsuit over there.
You heard stories of this.
Yeah.
Way back decades ago.
But it continues.
With the family that, had been reelected again and again and that sort of thing like that. And you heard of these things going on. But that was back in an era where, at least when the era started, a great many of the people who were in Providence organized crime chose to live in Johnston, and you just figured that there was something going on in Johnston. Well, all those people are dead now.
Yeah.
Or incarcerated. They ain't sleeping in Johnston anymore. And then the next generation comes in and you say, oh, well, this is going to be different now. And then you see stories like this and you say, geez, how different is this from before? It makes you wonder. Now, listen, Johnston's a fine place.
It's a lovely
really
community.
Is. And they make stories up about Woonsocket too. This is a little like this is a little like getting back some karma for Johnston, because they were right there poking fun at Woonsocket when Woonsocket was down on its luck. So I'm just not resisting the urge to be nice.
So the Santoro family that owns that piece of land,
right,
have got these people from the Pacific Legal Foundation. They're gonna represent the family, and they say, quote, to the mayor and the town council, they invoke the eminent domain to block housing that's affordable for low to moderate income families simply because they don't want that kind of thing in their town. Okay.
True.
So the mayor comes back and he has to issue a statement. This is not about prioritizing the future of Johnston. Sorry, this is about. Oops, got that wrong. This is about
Freudian slip.
For the current residents of. You see, he says that way. That's important.
The future of Johnston and its current taxpayers, not about some rich developers making a major profit. My mission remains to provide our first responders with the facilities they deserve, which I agree, and to ensure that residents receive the services they pay taxes for and are entitled to. Again, I agree.
But then he shoots himself in the foot.
But we will continue
with
to
the
promote.
Next thing. If he stopped talking right there, it would have been fantastic. Nice little bite on Channel 12, and he made his point. But he goes on to say, listen to this.
We will continue to promote owner-occupied single-family home construction, such as the projects off Shun Pike, Pine Hill, and other smaller projects around Johnston. Nothing about affordable housing.
Yeah, right.
Continuing to talk. How Trump-esque is this?
Just proved their point, right?
You win the argument and then keep talking.
And be quiet about it.
But why does it have to be either or, right? Like, we can either have more affordable housing that we need for residents who can't afford it and need to live anywhere else, and we also need a better, public safety complex, right? Why does it have to be either or?
Because I think they just singled in on this is the only piece of land we can use for the public safety complex. We haven't got any other land. I don't know. I don't live there. So
I'm sure there is, but there's always a NIMBY factor wherever you're going to go, either
yes.
there or somewhere else. So.
Right.
All right.
But
Well, the fun continues.
The fun continues. We'll see what happens.
Some people work harder at sharing the planet with others than others.
True story.
All right, up here in over next door in North Smithfield, their town council approved $12,600 for construction administrative services as part of the ongoing Maori Fire Tower restoration project.
You can say Maury. It's okay.
Is it Maury? Okay.
Yeah.
The total cost of the portion of the project has now risen to $66,390. It's a 65-foot steel structure atop Woonsocket Hill Road, and it served both as a fire watch tower and a communications hub for emergency services. Built in 1926. Well,
Wow.
so that's a long time ago.
Time for an
100
And
upgrade.
I grew
years.
up not far from the Buck Hill Tower.
Yeah.
So we're familiar with it. They were all the same. And people would sit up there, especially...
Yeah, watch for fires.
Not so much during the winter months.
Yeah.
But they would sit up there during the summer months, and they would constantly be vigilant for puffs of smoke and stuff like that. They had a telephone so they could check in.
Yeah.
I see smoke over here at 230 degrees. That's basically southwest. And is there a working fire there, or do we have a problem in the woods? And they would check. And so this was important because, as everyone knows, the earlier you get to a forest fire, the more chance you have of containing it and stopping it. But this was vital for a long, long time. And there was an enormous fire. I don't know if you people know this, out in Burrillville. I mean, I know an awful lot about the history because I kind of grew up out there, but and I love history, so I've read a lot of books. But there was an enormous fire in the Mapleville area. Most of what people know as Mapleville now, especially Gaza and up on the hill and going toward Greenville and stuff like that, was leveled by flames and burnt to a crisp before I was born. I think it was the 30s. So there was a great need for all of that. All right, so now time goes by, and it's been a source of controversy there. In order to protect it, the local historical people got it designated.
Well, that's what we got here in North Smithfield, too.
That's not in Burrillville.
No.
They got the
In North Smithfield.
yeah, the
they
Maury
do.
Tower, right?
Yep, National Historic
They all had
Lookout
names.
Registry.
The Buck Hill Tower was the Buck Hill Tower.
This is the last fire tower that's left standing in Rhode Island, by the way.
Wow.
It was built about 100 years ago. Wow. But not without its controversy. Some people wanted it, some people didn't to approve the money.
No, you got to understand, North Smithfield, wonderful, wonderful community, but they are very, very, they got a streak of Yankee thrift going through them collectively as wide as a bulldozer.
Yeah.
And no, it's Yankee thrift, and not criticizing, I shouldn't say it that way, I should say critiquing every expense of their town government, as rightly they should. So many communities don't even bother. They do. And, cheers for them. Look, see what happened with the police station. Nope, that's too much money. Ain't going to
No.
do it.
Yeah.
I know we'd be happy with the result, but we're not going to be happy. We're going to do it the cheap way. Okay, great. And that view prevailed.
And they so need one.
Yeah.
Right.
In North Smithfield.
Yeah.
Right. So the tower has been, well, it's not where anybody goes unless you're going up to fix a radio. It's on a dirt road off Woonsocket Hill Road, which isn't a big thoroughfare anyway. So the Maury Tower has suffered from neglect and vandalism and things like that for quite some time, and nobody wants to spend any money. Oh, there it is, great, okay, fine. But important communications are going there. And the state says the trees are growing up around it now. It's at 65 feet, but now you've got
trees are
growing-
higher?
Trees are just growing.
Yeah.
Way back in the beginning of this country, there was so much cutting of trees because they used the wood for fuel. There was a natural balance. But now nobody cuts down the trees for fuel much anymore. So trees are getting up, and they're causing problems with the towers. So there you go, and they want to do something about it. Eventually, the state put their foot down against the common desires and put a monopole up there, one of those like a light pole, right next to the thing. And it's a little higher. I think it's 100 feet instead of 65 feet. But still, the town uses it for communication. They have to do something about it. So begrudgingly, they said, okay, let's fix it up, but only spend this much. But now they keep coming up, well, we need some more.
Need more.
All right, but only spend this much. And they were asking not the administrator, the planner, I believe it was. Who's Borg? I lost the title in my brain.
Pendergrass.
Pendergrass. Okay, they're asking.
Public Works Director.
Well, is this the last time we're going to approve more money for this?
Well, we don't know.
And he looked at him, and he did the right thing by explaining. Well, maybe if.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he did the right thing, but it
Well,
wasn't the
old
answer they
structure,
wanted.
yeah. Can of worms, right? Can of worms. You might find something else.
You
as soon as
you
start to
already
go
said
in
you
there.
didn't want to fix the roof on the thing, and if it starts leaking on the radio equipment, that's not a good thing. But
Right.
you save money
Right.
there, and you'll get away with it for a while. But if the thing topples over,
No good. No good.
All right.
no bueno.
Well, down in Lincoln,
Yeah.
Food Truck Fridays are coming this summer.
Oh yay.
Higginson Avenue. That's
on
down
Higginson
near the
Avenue.
racetrack, the indoor.
Yeah, the R1.
And the axe throwing. It's
Yeah.
a great amusement center.
Yeah. So that's 100 Higginson Avenue. They
Yeah.
they tried it last year to do it once a month. Worked out so great. Let's do
Great.
it every week.
Right.
Fantastic.
So that'll be from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Now their town
that's gonna be
council only
taking
has
place.
5 members on it.
Yeah.
And it got by 3 to 2.
Squeaked in.
Yeah,
3 to 2. is
Maxud
right.
and who was the other one said not really on board with this, and they
Is that
cited
Bruce Agni?
yeah Oni.
Oni, okay.
Oni is how you pronounce it. And they
were worried about
they were
the
critical.
local
There's a couple
restaurants.
things happened. It's a liquor license.
Yep.
After you sell them the liquor, geez,
haven't
what
opened
happens
since.
next?
I know.
So so they were concerned about that.
But the racetrack has a liquor license.
Well, yeah, but it's a building. It's not a bunch of trucks that come up, form a circle for the Indians, and
Okay.
and they're there for 3 hours,
All right.
or 3.5 hours in this case. There were concerns. There were concerns, and they voted against it, but it still passed. And even Oni actually said in the report that we read that, well, I like the idea. I'm just worried about the liability.
And one of the other ones, the Keith Maxud, worried about how's this going to affect local restaurants? I'm trying to
Yeah,
think. There's
of
not
course, he's
that-
gotta be
I
concerned
don't know
about
of
it.
any local restaurants that are basically
He's
in
council
that area,
president.
but-
He's got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay. But it's going forward, and it starts on Memorial Day
Yeah.
weekend.
I don't
Goes
think you
to
get.
Labor
I don't
Day.
think you draw the same crowd. I mean,
Probably not. And were they going to have entertainment there too, or is it just the food trucks?
Oh, it's always entertainment. When Wiener gets in, he's done them up over here
Yeah, the
at
food
Yes.
truck people.
Yep.
Yeah.
at Holy Trinity.
yep.
Yeah,
And they have
on the
Trinity
lawn there.
Brewing up there as well, and,
Yeah.
and it's never there's never been a problem. There's never been a ruckus. Like it's
Here's
just a good time.
here's the thing about that. From what I hear, folks, make sure mark that hearsay. From what I hear, this gentleman is an organizer.
Yes.
PVD. food
There
trucks,
are a
yeah.
lot, right? PVD Fest, all right. There are people who own trucks that don't want to do business with him because of the way he does things. Very strict, and those are the rules. And fine, but it's a double-edged sword, like so many things on this planet are. He's very strict, but he doesn't have any negative incidents at his.
That's
at
right.
his his little
And there will be
soirees.
live performers at
Yeah,
this event.
and there's always a live performer there, or two, or a band.
Yeah.
he
And
does this
so-
all over the state, and
Yes, he
yeah,
does. And so when
of
you're
different
going to be
communities.
strict, there's going to be division in the house. There's going to be people say bad things about you. There's going to be people who don't want to be in your group. But the end result is he's got a clean show.
yeah, and because it's his name and his organization, and it's on him.
Yeah.
Right. All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program and more coming up. And right now, time for the weather forecast brought to us by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Gradual clearing today with a high of 48 degrees, but the winds will be in evidence from the northwest up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 33. Saturday's weather, sunshine and 58. Sunday, sunshine and 46. Monday, a 90% chance of rain and possibly snow likely in the morning, and then just rain later in the day. High of 52 with a breeze from the south. Monday night, more rain. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies with a high near 53. Wednesday, chance of rain, sunny skies with a high of 49. That's only a 30% chance of rain Wednesday. And on Thursday, less than that. A mostly sunny day with a high of 49 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the clouds. I think the rain has stopped for right now. We've got 41 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit MAD.org. Transforming your house into a home is what they do at Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center. Kitchen trends for 2025 include big color, open shelving, mixed materials, hardware reimagined, keeping it green, and room to gather. Kevin and his crew at Cumberland Kitchen can show you the latest trends and possibly something you have not thought of. Visit CumberlandKitchen.com or stop into the showroom in the McDonald's Plaza on Mendon Road, Cumberland, just off Route 295. Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center.
They say in business you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group because we've been in the business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We look for opportunities that we expect to go up in value not every day, but over time. And we take our responsibilities seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call Paul or Ed at 765-8880. Our office is located at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. And we'd love to meet you and see if we can help you with your investing journey. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hello, this is Kevin Callahan. Join me and Pat Holland in the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. Sports Talk every Saturday morning at 9 here on ON, AM, and FM.
All right, it is Coffeeana here on ON Radio, and this portion of Coffeeana is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, and we want you to be a part of it. Who's got the best burger? The coolest hidden gem in town? You decide. Nominate and vote for your local favorites and help crown the best businesses, people, and places in this exciting community competition. Visit voicesofthevalley.net to learn more and vote daily for a chance to win cash prizes. That's voicesofthevalley.net.
It's Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards as well. And just taking a quick look at some of the news. It always amazes me when a major crime takes place on Martha's Vineyard. I mean, where are you going to go? How are you going to hide?
Right, you can't.
There's only so many places you go.
You have a
and
boat
then you're in the
hidden
water.
somewhere. Right.
Well, this woman was caught. A Martha's Vineyard woman is charged with manslaughter and the death of a toddler nearly a week after the boy was found unresponsive in her vehicle. Said it was a 2-year-old child, and that 41-year-old Amy Cotton of Oak Bluff, she lives on the island, was babysitting, and the child was left unattended for hours.
In the car?
In the car.
Oh.
Yes. She was arraigned and held on a $21,000 bail, and April 3rd probable cause hearing is scheduled in Edgartown District Court out there on Martha's Vineyard.
And she was the babysitter.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
Yep. So she hasn't been found guilty of anything yet, but it doesn't look good, especially when the child's in your car. Doesn't say what were you off doing.
Right.
Other than, I mean, it's not in season. You can't go hang out at the beach. Well, I guess you could, but it's going to be kind of chilly.
Who knows? Anyone who does that, I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, they want to come down. The National Transport Safety Board says we got to take a look at the Claiborne Pell Newport Bridge. Mm-hmm. It's one of the nation's 68 bridges that must be assessed for the danger of a collapse if it gets hit by a vessel. It's not in danger of falling right now, but what if something hits it, like what happened in Baltimore? Okay. The NTSB made the announcement while giving an update on last year's collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore after it was struck by a cargo ship. NTSB says
that bridge has already been rebuilt completely, right?
I don't know if it's up and
Yes,
going
it is.
yet.
Yes,
but
it is.
It has? Okay.
Yeah.
NTSB says its report does not suggest that the bridges will collapse, but it recommends that the owners evaluate if the spans are above the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials' acceptable level of risk. And I guess it
Okay,
is.
I guess it must be
And what is an acceptable level of risk?
I don't know.
for a bridge.
Well,
How
yeah.
many cars have to
Zero.
fall into the water?
Well, I'm sure that the Newport Pell Bridge rose in the rankings of risk liability as soon as the 195 bridge went down.
yeah, let's quick. Let's take a look at it. Yeah.
Right, because you got a free Jamestown Bridge, you got Newport Pell's reasonably priced. You can get over to Massachusetts that way instead of taking 195. It's actually not anything that we here in Northern Rhode Island think of as a detour, but for people coming up from the south, it's a legitimate detour
Yeah.
around 195 Bridge.
Yeah.
So that would have taken the Pell Bridge's importance and the risk that if something happened to it, if a barge, if a big, they have oil tankers. They
Right.
go right underneath it and go over to Quonset and unload container
Otherwise,
ships
how do you
with
get to Quinnipiac
cars.
Island? You you have to go
Yeah.
all the way around. Oh my gosh.
Container ships with cars and stuff like that. They all go to Quonset, which is north of the bridge.
Yep.
Right? And then if something had happened to them and they hit in just the right way and the Newport Pell Bridge was damaged and couldn't carry traffic, yeah, I get it. They're being responsible.
The people of Jamestown would be crying. They wow, with the big loop
no.
around, and then they have to deal with the Washington Bridge trying to get down.
That's
to,
right. That's
down
right.
195 to get.
Yeah, what-
to
yeah,
get to,
yeah.
What
Let's-
24?
let's-
Well, you know, I have a feeling that in this day and age,
yeah. Well, they probably have boats.
that
Well, yes.
no,
but
you're right on track. That's exactly
okay.
what I was going to say, Joe.
Yeah.
Because if there's that much need, someone would pull a couple $100,000 out of their back pocket, make a quick application to the governor
We did
to
that.
supervise with a expeditious permit
Yes.
and put a ferry in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, because they've got a ferry from Providence there.
but only in the summertime.
That's right.
Yeah.
Only in the summertime because that's where the demand is.
Yeah.
But they could get a quick ferry permit from the Coast Guard and from the state.
Yeah, the infrastructure's there, so they could just do it.
Yeah, just like that. We took a ferry from Jamestown to Newport.
I
When
didn't
we
know there
went
was
down
one.
there and did
Okay.
Coffee Ann down there one
Oh,
time. Yep.
okay.
Fun.
Well, for all the students out there that are worried about the dismantling of the Department of Education and what's going to happen, and oh my gosh, the sky is falling, the Rhode Island Foundation will be offering $4 million in scholarships. So hey, have them go look into that. The foundation says dozens of individual and organizational donors have established scholarship funds to help students cover the cost of tuition, fees, and books. Hundreds of scholarships are available. In addition to general assistance, the foundation offers a number of awards targeting specific fields, including marine affairs, nursing, and the jewelry industry. For most of the scholarships, the deadline to apply is about a month, April 14th. So that was always the toughest part with my kids is getting them to apply
Yeah.
for the scholarships. I
Yeah.
said, you have to do this,
Right.
not me.
You have to write the essay. You have
That's
to
right.
write.
That's right. And some
You sell
don't,
yourself.
Some don't even require essays.
Really?
Just fill out the form and send it in. And
I don't think I ever applied for a scholarship back in the day without having to like do some kind of
little
long
something wide.
form. Yeah.
Well, it all depends on the scholarship. Obviously.
Yeah,
But some are
yeah.
like, well, is your dad a firefighter? Or your mom a
Right,
firefighter?
right,
Yes.
right.
Okay, you're in.
Okay,
You
right.
Don't, you don't need
Yeah.
something like that. So, all right. Up in Gloucester, Massachusetts, they arrested a man who was working at the Market Basket store up there, the supermarket.
What did he do?
He set the store on fire. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Police say 35-year-old Matthew Johnson set the fire in the back of the building on March 14th. No injuries were reported. Good.
Like outside the building or
No,
inside?
inside the building.
Inside the building.
And the store reopened after repairs were made the following day. So it wasn't a very large fire. They were able to clean it up and fix it.
And he
and
was
put it up.
a customer?
No, he was an employee.
Oh, he was employee. Okay.
Yeah. Not happy.
Right.
Maybe.
I'm mad.
my
I don't
hours
like
got
where you're like,
cut or
yeah, I'm
whatever.
gonna set this place on fire, literally.
I don't want to. I don't want to put up the produce anymore. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't
So he'll be arraigned in Gloucester District Court next week. So okay. And was it the defense or the prosecution that asked for a delay in the Karen Reed case?
It was the defense.
Okay. And the judge said
I can't
no.
keep track anymore.
I know it's tough to keep track. They wanted the delay of the start of the second trial, and the judge, who was the judge in the first trial, let's keep that in mind, said no. She's refusing a request by both sides to delay the start of the proceedings by up to 3 weeks. Dedham Superior Court Judge Beverly Canone says jury selection will start as planned on April 1st. I'm so glad I'm not in Norfolk County. The defense is appealing the mistrial last year. Oh, okay, that's everything you already know. And like that. So they both asked for a delay. She came back out and said no. So it moves on. We're moving on. And like that. Okay. There we go. And they're closing schools in Boston.
Yep.
A lot of them. The Boston School Committee has approved a plan to close 4 schools.
Enrollment is down.
And merge 2 others.
Yeah.
The closure of Community Academy, Excel High School, and Mary Lyon Pilot High School at the end of the 25-26 academic year, so that's next year, along with Dever Elementary School. They approved the merger of a couple of others. The move will impact around 1,300 students in total. Supporters say the changes will support the overall goal of improving student outcomes. They don't say anything, though, about it's because of low enrollment.
Yeah, and
why else would you do it?
enrollment is down generally, and
In
the
urban
whole
areas?
like newer and fewer that people are trending towards.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Should we
Yeah,
ask?
David.
Should we ask Ms. Murray about her successes in her part-time job?
Sure.
Senate Bill 0196.
And what was that bill?
She'll tell us.
Okay.
I will tell you, it passed on the Senate floor for the 4th time. Hopefully, we can get it past the House, folks. Call
Tell
your
everybody what
representatives.
It is, Melissa.
So it caps the amount of insulin delivery and glucose monitoring supplies at $25 for a 30-day supply, or $25 if that item is to be used for more than 30 days, like an insulin pump, right? And that is because, as you know, even though like there's been a lot of talk about the cost of insulin being lowered, you still need all of those other things to maintain and keep yourself healthy. And when you don't have those supplies and you're not monitoring your blood sugar, and it's just not a good outcome, right? So my bill would cap those supplies at $25 for a 30-day supply, and you would not have to meet your deductible first. That's the important part.
Now, is this passed in the Senate?
It was passed in the Senate last
Okay.
night.
And goes to the House now?
And goes to the House.
Right.
I don't think I told you this.
Time number 4.
I was battling with my health insurance company about such things.
Yeah.
And then I got a notice from the pharmacy. Okay, it's time to renew your needles.
Yep.
All right. And then it told me, but your insurance company isn't paying for it. So
Right.
we're letting you know ahead of time, $215 for the needles.
Right.
Now, luckily, I've actually built up quite an amount of these sterile needles, and I didn't need to get it this time around. But I'm like,
That's right.
$215.
And this is so dangerous to do, but like people still do sometimes ration their insulin, but they also
we'll spread it out a
ration.
little
Yeah.
longer. And you really
Right.
shouldn't.
You really shouldn't. But sometimes people also ration their supplies. You should never, never, ever use needles twice.
over again? Oh,
but
yeah.
what if you
But they
do?
do.
That is, it's not good. Nobody needs to be dealing with that, and that's why I put the bill in. So
Oh, well, great. You know, sometimes after I've looked at the used needles, sometimes they're bent.
yeah.
I'm like, I guess I really couldn't use this again if I
No,
if I really
never do
wanted
that.
to,
Don't
so.
do that, folks.
All right, you must. If you remember the story, this is from almost a year ago, up in Salem, at the Satanic Church. Someone threw a bomb, or set off a bomb at the doors.
I think
Sound
so.
familiar?
Yeah.
All right. It was a man that drove all the way from Oklahoma to do this,
Nice.
and he has pled guilty.
Oh, well.
He said, "Yep, it was me, and yes, I did it." And okay,
Very determined.
Yep, and it's a federal charge related to the pipe bomb explosion at the Satanic Temple in Salem. Sean Patrick Palmer entered the guilty plea. He'll be sentenced in June. He admits that he threw a pipe bomb at the main entrance of the Satanic Temple in April. It only partially detonated and caused minor damage to the building. Drove all that way and couldn't complete the job. I think he wanted to blow the whole thing up.
Probably.
Probably, but I'm like, wow.
Luckily, no one was hurt.
No. Yeah, it was empty at the time he did this. Maybe he planned it that way.
Maybe.
And didn't want to kill anybody. We just want to get rid of the building as a I'll show you kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't have this in my country kind of
Right.
thing, and let's get rid of it kind of thing. So
It didn't work out so well for him, though.
not for him. He'll be hanging out possibly with Lou Mandeville, Dave. No, Lou's at the women's prison, so
Okay. What?
so he won't be hanging out there. So Lou's a guard. He's
Yeah,
a-
yeah, right. No, I get that.
Make that
Right.
perfectly clear.
But by the
Oh
way,
my goodness.
here's something. By the way, on the other side of the building from you, I'm just looking through some of the things that have been going on. The chamber tells us what's going on in the legislature, and Representative Sanchez has pulled up a bill to change eminent domain proceedings to be more public, with comments and input and all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe it's a bill that you folks will be seeing on your side of the building soon.
I don't know.
What do you suppose caused him to come up
I
with
wonder
that
what
idea?
happened. Yeah, I wonder.
So
I
he wants towns to be more transparent if they're going to take over eminent domain,
right,
or
and
the state.
get public comment. I assume it's individual towns,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I don't know much about the bill.
He's introduced legislation that aims to protect affordable housing developments and other private
I see.
projects that benefit Rhode Island's communities by requiring municipalities to justify their use of eminent domain in a public, transparent process.
So we know where that came from.
Who does he represent? What town does he represent, Dave?
Providence, District 9.
Oh, okay. It's nearby to Johnson.
Yeah, you were thinking it
was.
was Johnson, but
Nope,
no,
nope.
it isn't.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it has a Senate companion. Haven't heard of that.
Okay. Break time here on Coffee Inn, and this portion of the Coffee Inn program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, and we want you to be a part of it. Who's got the best burger? The coolest hidden gem in town? You decide. Nominate and vote for your local favorites and help crown the best businesses, people, and places in this exciting community competition. Visit voicesofthevalley.net to learn more and vote daily for a chance to win cash prizes. That's voicesofthevalley.net.
Wow, can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
For 70 years, we've been known as the Humane Society of the United States. But as the challenges animals face have grown, so have we. We are now called Humane World for Animals. And with you on our side, we are going to end animal cruelty around the globe. Join us. Humane World for Animals, the end of animal cruelty.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee Inn here on ON, and I'm Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. Rich Lane cannot be with us this week. Hopefully Rich can join us next week, and right here on the Coffee Inn program.
But if I could, just for a moment.
Oh, from the Post?
Yeah, I will stand in for Rich today,
right.
and I wanted to mention Purple Up because it's coming quickly. April is Purple Up month, so
Nikki from Purple Up will be joining us next week here on Coffee.
yes, that's the day that I unfortunately cannot join you, but it starts off on Saturday, April 5th with the annual Purple Up Ham Dinner Kickoff. And of course, that is at Post 85. It's 5 p.m. until it's sold out. It's $10 a plate. They're going to have raffles. And of course, all the proceeds are to benefit Rhode Island National Guard child and youth programs. And then on the 12th, which is a Saturday, also Foolproof Brewery event to benefit Purple Up, 1 to 5 p.m. That's in Pawtucket. There's going to be Burrito Bowl food truck and raffles there. On the 15th, there's the Cello's fundraising event all day. You can go to Cello's and they will donate part of the proceeds. And then on the 26th, it's their, they always round off the month with a Purple Up spaghetti dinner at the Post 85. They're going to have live music featuring Christine Boland. Raffles, that's 4 to 9 p.m. And for those of you that don't know, Purple Up is the month of the military child. So for those kids that whose parents are in the military, they have to move around a lot. And I think Rich always says like the average is like 5 moves over a career. And that's a lot for kids. So this money goes to help them hang out with other kids that whose parents are in the military that they can relate to, and just kind of, go have a fun time and not have to worry about their situation and
By the way,
be with other kids. So
if you would like to meet Richard Lane in person, he's making personal appearances every Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 4:30 with his guitar and his cowboy hat. The funniest guy you ever saw in a cowboy hat with a guitar, playing old-time country music at Post 85.
All right, cool.
And by the way, did you mention next Friday, 28th, Deep River Acoustic Project? I don't think you did.
I did not. I
From
just
6 to 9.
Yep, I did. I highlighted the Purple Up events. That's what I had up at my
And
on
the
my phone.
members yard sale coming up in May. You know where that's going to be, in the pavilion outside.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness.
Very nice.
Warmer weather.
I know. I'm so happy about spring.
Rain or shine, on the pavilion, it says here.
All right. Well, if you have a pet kangaroo, you can't let it out and about.
Well, who would anyway?
I know. And not that the owner did this on purpose. This is down in Florida.
Yep.
The owner, and it doesn't tell you, the owner of a kangaroo that escaped a Florida home last year has been fined in order to pay court costs, but it doesn't tell you how much he's been fined. I really wish I knew. The problem was the marsupial escaped its enclosure last October because it had a close encounter with a bear. Mm-hmm. And know there were bears in Florida, and I think he was just trying to escape the bear and hopped over the fence. I'm right. This thing's here. I'm leaving.
Probably. Yep.
And but nope. So what's his name? Scott Mitchell. He must donate to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's Wildlife Alert, and also pay another fine. But he got his kangaroo back, so I guess that's gotta be happy about that.
I don't.
And it's okay to have a kangaroo in Florida.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. I don't know about
well,
Rhode
they're
Island.
down under as far as Rhode Island is concerned, right?
All right.
I don't know why you would want to have such a
Large animal.
a large undomesticated animal.
Can
right?
they be domesticated?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Not they get like plucked from the wild. Maybe
They're
after
moody.
like
What's that?
They're moody.
Okay.
and they're
And
super
they're so
strong.
I mean, they're ripped.
They are ripped. If they kick you with their back legs,
Oh, you're
you
done-
are going to
you're
be
done for.
messed up.
All right. So everybody, thank your lucky stars that you weren't on this flight from Pittsburgh to Charlotte, because there was a woman. She's now facing federal charges, assaulting a flight attendant, which is probably the worst thing you can do. On the plane out of Pittsburgh, Nicole Peasy is accused of being intoxicated. 2, hit, kicked, and spit on an American Airlines crew member. She was indicted by a grand jury for assault earlier this week, and she also allegedly assaulted an EMT, a medic, and a nurse after they landed in Charlotte, trying to help her. And she's not happy with those people either.
She shouldn't be allowed to fly on planes for a while. I think that would be a good punishment.
That would be a great punishment.
right?
Well,
You're banned from flying for the next 5
Yeah.
years.
Well, how do I get from here to there? Well, figure it out on your own.
Right?
Yeah, because you did
That's-
bad things.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
So the year is 2025, and
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
And it's surprising that this kind of
I
situation.
want to know what he'd say if I said it. No.
that this is taking place. Now, a Virginia campground is being ordered to pay 2 families $750,000 because of discrimination. So two friends, Amanda Mills and Angela Smith, plan a trip to Lazy Cove Campground way back in 2020. And Angela Smith's husband happens to be black. They say the campground's owner called them and said they weren't aware one of the campers was black and that they couldn't have rented a lot to them if they'd known.
What?
Wouldn't, not couldn't.
Yes.
Wouldn't.
They said wouldn't have rented the lot to them if they'd known.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why he started off with this is 2025.
Yeah.
This should have been bred out of the species by now,
Yes.
but it hasn't.
Court documents say the campground's owner also made several other racist comments to them during the trip. So the jury awarded the family $750,000. Now, if you want to take the other side of the argument, it's a private campground, and is he allowed to rent to whoever he feels like renting to? And if he doesn't want to rent to a certain race, is he okay? Is it okay to do that?
You would have to know what the laws in that state are.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Think
we
they might
can only
consider it
answer by the laws
would,
we know
would
here.
they not as consider a hate crime, but I mean it's racially motivated.
Yes.
So that amps it up more,
Yeah.
right? So
We don't want blacks at our campground.
yeah.
Makes you wonder, do the other people that go to this campground know how this guy feels? And are
They do now.
Are they behind him or not? So,
Right?
maybe
Not a
it's just-
campground I'm gonna ever go to.
No, maybe it's just one of those.
Of course, I don't camp, but like if I did want to, spend the weekend on the ground outside, I wouldn't go there.
Okay, on the ground. You can bring a camper
I know.
and stay above the ground. You don't have to bring a tent and a sleeping bag.
I know. I don't want to rough it. I don't
But
want to rough it.
maybe-
I'm too old for that.
Maybe people just knew, this was the unwritten rule
Maybe.
here, and we all know this.
Maybe.
And we're okay with it, but now, now
it's
it
not
came to
okay.
light.
So
No, it's
now
not
everybody
okay.
knows.
That's
Good.
That's terrible.
Hopefully they're closed.
Yep. One more thing to worry about.
Only one?
Yeah, dengue fever is
Yeah,
rising among
yeah.
U.S. travelers. The
I know.
CDC.
That how you say it? Dengue?
I don't know.
Dengue.
It's
Dengue.
it's
Yeah, I always said dengue, yeah.
dengue. Dengue.
Yeah.
Okay, dengue. Wednesday, nearly 3,500 cases of dengue fever were reported among U.S. travelers last year.
Oh no.
That's a record number of cases and up 84% from the year before. So the CDC is warning that the trend is expected to continue this year with increased dengue activity in areas where the virus occurs regularly. The dengue virus is usually carried by mosquitoes in tropical areas and can cause high fever, rash, and joint pain, which is just about everything else.
Yeah.
Occasionally, it can be life-threatening. So, wow.
I wonder if a vaccine will be developed. They can.
Is there one for it already?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either. I've never heard of this one. So
Might be added to the repertoire of things that you need to get when you travel. You know?
the repertoire, like with malaria and measles and like
that's
that.
fine. I don't want to get those things.
I don't want this either. So yikes. All right.
I don't want to get malaria. That's not something I need to experience.
No. Well, if you happen to be down in Florida and you get hurt bad enough where you have to go to the ER, you're in the wrong state. New study ranks the state of Florida #1 for the most stressful emergency room visits. The rankings were compiled by insurance company Policy Guide and covered factors ranging from cost, in which Florida also ranked first, to number of admissions and number of inpatient days per 1,000 residents.
Well, there's also like a very large number of older folks, retirees, right? So I
Yes.
would imagine that they have more complex issues and maybe stay in the hospital a little longer or,
Oh, they just like
you
going
know,
to the ER? And...
yeah.
Florida is one of 4 southeastern states in the top 10, along with Kentucky at number 5. Tennessee is 7th. Alabama is 10th. The least stressful ER visit? It's not Rhode Island.
Oh.
So, Dave, it's Wyoming.
Wyoming?
Yeah. Well, you think it'd be, well, they might have a lot of ER visits, just less stressful time out there in the
I
great
can,
wide open spaces.
having a brother who lives in Wyoming, I can
you see that?
hypothesize
Okay.
that it's because they just don't bother going to the hospital much.
Really?
We'll
we'll take care of it
If
ourselves.
you're not bleeding quartz, you're not going to the. That's it. Oh no, it's just a scratch.
So if you've been kicked
I know my foot's supposed to be turned the other way,
but we'll turn it back.
but I'll just walk funny. It's okay. They're a hardy breed out there on the plains.
Just throw some kerosene on it. Be fine.
If they've been kicked by the bison, and it's
not
okay.
Kerosene, hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, does the same thing. Burns.
So only if the bison kicks your leg off, then you can go to the ER. But if your leg is still there, you're okay.
Well, if you don't have to put your leg in the back seat while you drive yourself to the hospital, then maybe you don't have to go to the hospital.
Wow, they're tough.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Dave Richards, thanks for being here.
You betcha. Nice to be with our good friends here this morning. Folks, enjoy the rest of the day. It's going to get better as we go along, but it's going to get cold and windy. Enjoy it while you can. March is going to go out like a lion. Came in like a lamb's going to go out that way. What are you going to do?
Boo.
But come on, April.
Be here soon.
Tuesday, April 1st. I like that an awful lot, and we're looking forward to that. Also looking forward to Bruce Palmer and the Saturday night block party from 4 to 7 this coming Saturday. Manny Brando's on at 8:30 on Sunday morning. And, of course, Chuck Matthews at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Did I get it all in here? No, I didn't. Tiki Bar at noon tomorrow.
That's right.
I knew you'd pick me up on that.
Melissa, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Have
and
a great
sports
weekend,
show tomorrow
everyone.
at 9. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it again.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right. I'm Joe
And
Callahan.
listen to Owen all
I was
weekend
exuberant.
long.
Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk again on Monday. Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember us at 9:30 on
Today.
ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
ABC6.com Channel 6 TV News reports President Donald Trump has begun moves aimed at fully dismantling the U.S. Department of Education. Most funding for public schools in Rhode Island is already at the state and local level, but the department oversees funding to help low-income students and students with disabilities. Also, it prevents discrimination in schools and handles the process for students applying for college financial aid. The administration has promised none of those programs will be impacted.